So what's new and different about mobile as a channel? Probably some of you know the answer already. It's basically the single most important source about your location. Okay? So the location data that is coming out from these devices is unique because phones are not, people don't share phones. We share laptops and desktops, we don't share our phones. It's unique to you and it's super precise. Okay? And I'll give you some examples as I go along. But 10 years back when the first smartphone came and when we tried to say, okay, let's figure out where this smartphone user is, we would probably get accuracy levels with an error margin of 200 meters, 650 feet. That's a lot. In today's world, we can get accuracy levels of 3 feet of where you are. Okay? So the Samsung Galaxy 8 and the iPhone 7 is remarkably precise. And so the technology ecosystem has sort of evolved in a way where not only have these devices become more powerful and computationally strong, but they've also become very precise and accurate. Okay? So what happens when you have location data about a person is you can start thinking about this, like I said, like the layers of an onion. There are many layers you can add on top of that. When you know somebody's location and the time where they are, and the time is also a unique source of information, you know the context. Okay? It's 2 p.m. on a Tuesday afternoon, it's a working day, you're walking past Fifth Avenue, and there's a Starbucks, and then there's a pub, and they're both trying to communicate with you to send you an offer. Okay? So when you add time to it, what you realize is, 2 p.m. on Tuesday afternoons, a lot of people would essentially go for redeeming the offer from Starbucks, right? Going back to work. But the same person at the same location, you flip the time from 2 p.m. to 8 p.m., suddenly it's the pub that's actually getting a lot of these responses back from people. Okay? So you get access to context, you get access to weather. We've used weather quite interestingly and effectively in sending the most relevant, appropriate messages to people, whether it's in the form of a discount or an ad or a relevant offer. As soon as you know the location, you know in real time what the weather is like. What else you know? You know the trajectory, right? So, as I pace around in this room, so let's say I was teaching a class, in which case I'd be running up and down this classroom. The mobile phone is always with me, right? It's right here in my pocket. And the fact that it's constantly emitting the latitude, longitude of where I am helps organizations map the trajectory of a given user. Okay? So whether you're in an airport, and I'll talk about examples of what airports are doing, for example, trying to minimize congestion by looking at the trajectory of transit passengers. What's the fastest way to get from gate A to gate B if you don't have to clear customs and security, right? So this is remarkably useful. It gives you a sense for crowdedness. Are you right now in a context that's fairly isolated and desolate, and not really crowded? Or are you in, a shopping mall, or in a bus station, or a train station, or an airport where it's very crowded? Okay? So again, the one single device with the one important source of information, such as location, tends to give you a lot more color on what's going in and around the potential user's mind. Okay? And that's essentially what I've tried to capture in the last decade or so to figure out, once we know these things about human beings and about people, how can we enrich their lives? How can organizations make it better? Okay?